What's good, BlockNation? So welcome to series 1 of Why Crypto. I'm Queen.
I'm D.
I'm Maverick.
Rick, Crypto Rick Mims.
Yo, we got Rick here for the first episode, the first series. You know what I'm saying? Crypto Rick, been following us, been an honorary BlockNation member since I can remember.
Forever. since the beginning, for real. So shout out to Rick coming in, discussing this topic with us today. So today we're going to be talking about the wealth transfer. I guess the first thing let's talk about is why this is the biggest wealth transfer in history. So why y'all think this is the biggest wealth transfer?
I think this is the biggest wealth transfer, honestly, because what's happening right now with the convergence of everything, like what we've been going through for the past couple of years, it's not for no reason. It's because they know what's on the precipice. You know what I mean? As far as what we've been going through, 2008, that was supposed to be it. The last time something like this happened was like over 100 years ago when the bond system came in.
Yeah, everything runs in cycles. Like he said, 100 years ago, we went through the Great Depression and everybody had to trade in their gold for, the currency we're currently on, which is worthless.
Lame ass fiat.
It's IOUs, so now we're switching over again to digital assets. We're talking about, tokenization. So yeah, this is the new era of where we're at right now. And the wealth transfer it's like D said, we never seen this before. This is something that's uncharted territory. And we're definitely in a hyper inflation, hyper economy, hyper everything, to where the creator economy is crazy. It's new lanes being created every day in different sectors. Same thing with how AI is taking jobs and making jobs at the same time. We're giving the information to you guys to where you won't miss out if you listen to BlockNation. We come on here, on TikTok Live and now YouTube to give you guys the information, the knowledge, how to, maneuver through these waters.
The thing about the wealth transfer is that there's always a wealth transfer, but people need to understand that this is the largest wealth transfer in history. And mainly because we had, obviously the boomers, and now we have where the financial system's changing over. And there's new people that are going to come into this wealth. And there's a new way that you can actually build wealth when you're talking about blockchain and crypto. And obviously when we're talking about the reset, like, D mentioned, and we were talking about here, where the economy has changed forever. The way that we used to do things, that's the old way. There's a new way. And if you don't adjust and adapt and change to the new way, you're going to get wiped out with the old way. So it's not even, it's an opportunity, but it's also something that you have to do. It's not really an option to participate in the wealth transfer if you want to make sure that a wealthy family comes from you and that you live a better quality of lifestyle. It's literally a shift that's happening on the planet, and these are the things that you need to do. And if you don't do them, you will bear the consequences of not doing them. But it's exciting for us, and it should be exciting for you, because it's going to allow you to create and manifest a reality that you didn't know that could exist for you, because before we didn't have access. We didn't have this information. We didn't have the community, So now this is the time for us to be able to come together with the information that we have, acquire the resources that we weren't able to acquire before, and put ourselves in position to, literally create a reality for ourselves and future generations that we never could have imagined.
For sure. I think for me, the information is out there. So, unlike the other times, I guess with like our parents and our grandparents, they didn't have the luxury of the internet. So now I feel like, now that we have the internet, we have way more resources than they have, that plays a huge part in this transfer of wealth, because it's like the knowledge is out there. You just got to go find it. You got to go seek it. So that's pretty much why I think it's the biggest wealth transfer, because between TikTok and Google, you can't really miss nothing these days. And then just to add on Facebook and Instagram to the mix, it's like, if you missed it, man, that's on you. So this is, it's a great time to be alive right now. I understand that now, because this is an opportunity. A lot of people don't understand that, and you got to take advantage of it. But I guess that goes into what's going on right now in the world, and a lot of people don't even know that the financial system just really took a turn yesterday, because FedNow went live yesterday. So how you guys feel about FedNow?
All right, so with FedNow, the first time I heard about FedNow was probably about, over a year ago. you know. And when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, they want 24-hour payments. They want people to get paid. I'm like, this is interesting. This is interesting that it's coming at this time period. And it's no coincidence, you know, because when I first heard about it, I was like, all right, this makes sense. This makes sense. We need 24-hour payments. We should have been here, honestly. You know, like, why are we still, you know, dealing with banks and 3 days, 5-day holds and stuff like that? If I take something back to Walmart or Target, it's still going to take 3 to 5 business days to get cleared. Like, why are we still dealing with that? So, all right, come on, let's bring it. And then once you see who's behind FedNow and the companies and the corporations that's all together, you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And like you said, if you don't see it, you that's on you. That's on you, because all the information is right there. All you got to do is go to the Federal Reserve website. That's it.
Yeah, like you said, it's all there. And my whole thoughts is this. I think that they're rolling this whole thing out because of convenience, and they know people will fall for that. So when it comes to convenience, making everything very simple, very user friendly, people will use it. You know, if you think about, companies like Coinbase, they're the most user friendly crypto exchange on earth.
Yep.
Same thing with Amazon. You have a button at one click and you buy something. That simple. So if you think about all these different companies making it very easy, very accessible and fast, they saw that formula and they're like, okay, well, payments and money needs to move faster. But along with that, you're giving up a lot of control. We're talking about programmable money. We're talking about, things that we haven't seen before. It's a double-edged sword. So with that convenience, you relinquish a lot of freedoms and, being self-custodial, because they will be the go in between for everything you purchase. So for example, if you purchase something on Amazon, or you go to a club or whatever, and they may not, like your transactions, they may block that transaction, or they say, hey, spend this amount of money, they can do a tax return, but you have to spend it within 30 days. So these are the things we have to think about, because these are the things that are already coming to pass now. And it's all about programmable money. And that's so key. When you're controlling people's money, you're controlling everything they do. They're controlling their ideas, they're controlling their lifestyle. And along with that, it comes with, a lot of downside. So my whole thoughts is, I opt out of all that because of, blockchain, crypto, of course, real estate, real assets. These guys with the precious metals, that's another play. So I always look at it as I have to have my money work for me, and I don't work for money. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped in this system to where they're going to control every single thing you do.
Game. All right, go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
No, facts. And I mean, this is the thing. It's nothing new. They've been planning this for quite some time. We knew that they've always wanted to be able to control this economy, control what you spend, how you spend. And they had to keep up with the technology. This is, something that was inevitable. But the thing that we have to think about is, yes, it is convenient, but like Mav was saying, what are we actually giving up? And we are giving up some of our anonymity, our ability to do transactions in private. When we give cash, I can go to the ATM and get cash, and at that point, nobody knows what I did with the cash. But now when we have everything digital like this, they're able to see every single transaction that you do, and they're able to control, like Matt was saying, and stop that. But the other thing that I think about when I heard about FedNow is that it's giving more credibility to blockchain and crypto and what this space has to offer. Because, they try to FUD us out of it and say, Bitcoin is no good. They try to talk down about, the technology or the use case of it. And then we find out behind the scenes that they're developing ways for us to use it. So they just want to control society and humanity with FedNow and possibly the CBDC that's going to come out from it. But the problem is that, we're looking to the people who created the problem for the solution. The public enemy number one is the Federal Reserve. It's a private central bank. It's a private banking cartel. And so when you understand the inception and who's running this corporation, this private bank cartel, and whose interest they're looking out for, they're not looking out for our interest. They didn't put the FedNow together because we want faster payments, and they're looking out for our ability to be able to settle transactions and get paid faster. No, that's not why this was set up. It's a set up about control. And so you have to understand that so you can appreciate the solutions and options that we have out here when we're talking about being able to manage and control your money through the blockchain, through DeFi, or know how to move your money around by yourself, as opposed to being in a controlled economy. FedNow, in my opinion, is a no-go, okay? Especially because we have the ability to be the masters of our own destiny. We have the ability to control and move our own finances. We have the intelligence and the resources to do so. But it's definitely interesting to see, and it's just more verification and validation that with the blockchain and what we're doing with crypto is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the part that's gonna confuse everybody about FedNow. You guys pretty much touched everything. I agree with Rick. I'm not a fan of it. The reason I said it is because people don't realize that they're putting FedNow out in phases. So they're not giving you everything at once. So in the beginning, it's gonna seem cool. That's how they're gonna get you in. Like I was on live yesterday, and I was showing people on the news like you got to listen to the word tracking that they were using. They were saying things like instant payments, and you'll be able to, cash a check, and it'll go into your account immediately. It's no more of a holding period. Like just ways to get people, real people in, and people don't even realize, what they really signing up for because they didn't know that FedNow is in phases. So the first phase is instant payments. Phase two is probably more than likely going to be the CBDC, and that's when everything changed. That's when the control starts to kick in, and that's the part that people got to understand about FedNow.
Yeah, that's the
And
trick
that's why
bag.
we told y'all go to that website, go to the Federal Reserve, and you'll read up on all that information, and it'll tell you that. And then you'll start seeing the red flags after you read about the instant payments and all that great stuff. Keep reading, and then you'll start seeing red flags everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
y'all gotta read the fine print, man. That's what I always say. America is the masters of fine print. So when it comes to like all these little things in between, they be like, "Oh, this sounds great." You opt in, you're like, "Oh shit, what did I just sign?" And
Man, it's
that's
like
what
keep
happens.
reading. You got to keep reading. Like
Yeah.
Jadakiss said
read.
it. When I hide something from somebody, put it in a book.
But that's the truth. That's the truth. So I guess Rick kind of touched on it already, but one thing about the wealth transfer, who do you guys think is causing it, and who do you guys think is gonna miss it?
I think it's just something that's just happening naturally. Just because when you think about amount of money that's just been printed over the past whatever years and decades and stuff like that, the QE, it's just something that's just happening naturally. When you go on a drive and you see all these construction workers building road or building a bridge or something, whatever they building, they ran out of it. So now they just keep, trying to build and build day by day when there's just no more road. There's no, this is literally the end of the road, and it's all coming, like I said, it's all coming together because of cycles. Just like what Maverick said, the cycle is everything. Everything is cyclical. Ray Dalio talked about it with the changing world order. Every couple hundred years or 100 years or whatever, there's a super duper cycle, right? And in the midst of that, there's all these mini cycles. So it's all on track for it to come together. So from a deeper standpoint, we can go to astrology and how what's happening with the earth and the moon and the stars and everything like that, how all these things, the esoteric things, have correlation with that. So, that's what's really causing it, in my opinion.
Again, with the cycles, man, like what people fail to realize is all this stuff is like pre-planned. So when you think about it, America, before America's time, we're talking about, the UK. And then before that, I believe it was the Spaniards. And then before that, it was, I want to say it was Italy or somebody, but everybody has their time. Every regime has their time. Time is up, America. Time is up. You got BRICS, yeah, another 22 countries just applied. I just saw the other day. So, all these countries now are banding together. They're having a currency backed by gold. So what does that tell you? That means that
Mm.
they don't need the dollar anymore because, you know, the
Uh,
trade off the dollar, that was our last standing leg with the petrodollar. So with that gone, it's a wrap. So now I think that America is creating this bubble to where, you know, they're controlling their people with the FedNow stuff, the CBDCs, and you know, everybody else is, you know, having their own ball game. It's crazy to see right now. And you know, it's definitely an opportunity, you know, if you're smart and you have the knowledge and the wisdom to use that knowledge and change your bloodline's financial health. So, you know, I know none of us are missing it. And anybody who's listening to BlockNation, who follow us and rocks with us, they've been put onto a lot of stuff just by, you know, watching and listening. And definitely ain't missing out on this one.
So the people who are going to miss it is those who don't have assets, because that's how you transfer wealth. And we're going from a fiat debt-based monetary system to an asset-backed monetary system. And so the top 5 assets that the wealthy hold to preserve their wealth is exclusive real estate,
Mm-hmm.
rare coins, fine art, gold, and like usable precious metals. And I'll probably add another one on there. Obviously, it's going to be crypto, right? And so if you don't have physical silver, if you don't have gold, you don't have real money. Gold and silver have been money since the times of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? They've financial crisis, wars, plagues, no matter what hit the planet, they're always held value. Any shift on the planet, you know, if you're not into crypto, you're not ready for it, because everything is technological. Everything is going to operate on the blockchain. If you know, and most people, if you're not able to get into real estate now, you know, if you're not able to get into these other asset market classes now, you might not be able to. And so that's why we like to talk about crypto, because when we talk about crypto, a lot of these cryptos that are the future are pennies right now. You know, when we talk about gold and silver, I mean, they're just dollars right now. So most people can get into that and accumulate assets. And I mean, the wealth transfer is always happening, but it's just that we're in a time period where they have created so much artificial wealth, in a sense, because they created so much dollars. The dollar was money when it was backed by gold and silver. So the world accepted as money, but now they've created and printed so much that there's a lot of people who have money, have dollars in retirement accounts, bank accounts, and real estate. And during this shift, that value, you know, is going to transfer over into assets as the fake money declines, which we're seeing. We're seeing the dollar lose value. We're seeing the dollar de-dollarization around the world. So those who are holding on to assets, those assets are going to appreciate in value because the dollar is losing less value. And then that money, the dollar, the people who hold dollars, they're going to chase real resources. They're going to chase real assets. So those people who don't have real assets, real physical assets, gold, silver, and then blockchain and land and different things of that nature, they're going to miss out. And the wealth transfer is always happening. The question is will you be a part of it?
Yep,
Right.
exactly. And just to add to that, I mean, it's an article, you guys can look it up. It says why some Black Americans might miss out on the $68 trillion generational, $68 trillion of transfer of generational wealth. And in that article, the main reason that we miss out on wealth is because we don't have will set up or trust. Rick told you guys about assets and stuff, because if you scroll in there, it talks about, you know, about how Aretha Franklin and Chadwick Boseman died and they didn't have wills when they passed away. Prince didn't either. And then if you keep going, you scroll down, it right there, it talks about right here, it says so many families lose their family access of ownership of and ownership of land. And another thing that I noticed, because I'm actually going through this personally right now with my family, people are so quick to want to sell the land. And you know, when you need to keep that, it's an asset. It's an asset within the family. Um, so, I mean, you see right here, stop right there, stop right there. It says white families had a median wealth of $188,200 compared to $24,100 for Black families. And this is all because we don't set up a will and trust. So, that's I think this article is something I feel like anybody that looks like us within our community, they need to really be up on game about. And if you keep scrolling down to the bottom, it says right there, everyone over the age of 18 should make a plan. Wills aren't just for when you get old. You don't know when you're gonna pass away. That's the other thing. And a lot of us now, especially millennials and Gen Z, we're accumulating wealth at a much younger age than our parents did. A lot of us are not gonna have to wait until we're 60, 65 to see $1 million in our accounts. We figured out how to make money. A lot of us has figured out how to not have to work a 9 to 5 anymore. Like we're getting away from that. So if you've already accumulated assets and you're under 30, why don't you have a will? Life every day is not guaranteed. I don't mean to get spiritual, but tomorrow not guaranteed. So I'm glad that they in this article, they said that also just to add to that, they said it's not just by 2053 anymore, because at one point they were saying our wealth would run out by 2053 when that's not true. Our wealth that has changed. Is actually here now. That's what they're telling you right here. So we're actually in a state of emergency, our community. So it definitely needs to be talked about. A lot of people don't want to hear this. It sounds harsh, but it is what it is. If you are a person of color, because I hate saying black, but if you are a melanated being, we are in a state of emergency. We have an issue. Because it's a 68 trillion dollar wealth opportunity upon us, and we're gonna miss it. And it's not 100% our fault. But me and Crypto 901 was talking earlier about the distraction that's coming up on July 26th. On July 26th, a crypto bill is supposed to get signed. And instead of them talking about the crypto bill, they want to talk about aliens. On July 26th, they're doing a whole press conference on aliens. That they're gonna
Oh, wait,
actually,
hold on. They doing a press conference on aliens?
yes, they're finally gonna act like they're gonna expose everything about aliens and that
Oh my
whole phenomenon.
goodness.
Yeah, so they're actually releasing that on July 26th, and it just so happens that's the day that Congress, the House of Representatives, the Republicans and the Democrats are gonna vote on the crypto bill.
Slide that on in there.
On
Slide
that
that
on
on in
that
there.
same
What?
yeah,
Come
so we're gonna
on,
do that.
y'all.
But this is gonna be the news that day. We're gonna talk about aliens and UFOs, and we're gonna go. And I'm like, man, so when I saw that this morning, it blew my mind, because I'm like, this isn't everyone's fault. And it's not even just people of color. This is everybody. This is all Americans. It ain't all of our fault because they distract you so much within the media, but it's also like you have all these resources for information that you shouldn't just be depending on CNN and CNBC to tell you what's going on. You can actually go find out for yourself at the same time. So, but yeah, just to throw that out there about who's gonna miss it. As far as who's causing it, like you said, this is just a cycles thing. It happens. Like
It
this just
happens.
happens in cycles. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my
That's
take on it.
wild.
That I really wanted to talk about who was gonna miss it. Because we
Yeah.
already know who causing it and what's going on. At this point in 2023, it ain't no reason to be not getting no money out here, not getting no assets, or trying to at least figure it out and get to that point so that you can get to that point. It's no excuses
Yeah,
at this
I
point,
feel like
man.
that's the thing though. I feel like that's the thing. They throw so much shit at you guys to where you guys are distracted with like aliens and who is dating who and all this other stuff. It's like, yo, they're turning like Earth into like a reality show and they just
Yeah.
distracting y'all with this and that and this. Meanwhile, they're passing these bills and doing
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
it is.
whatever your reality is up here. You know what I'm saying? Your
Mm-hmm.
reality lives up here. So whatever you put in front of your face every day, that's your reality. If you want to, your reality to be aliens and who's dating who and who got married and who got shot, that's your reality. But if your reality is how I'm gonna get ahead, how am I not gonna miss this wealth transfer? You make that your reality. We all have made that our reality, no matter what they try to throw on the wall. We all have made this a priority. You need to prioritize it as well.
Exactly. Y'all want to go on all these vacations and buy mimosas, and I be at the, I'm one of those people when I go out, I don't like to spend too much money on drinks because I'm not really a drinker, but I'm at the bar listening to the bartender tell y'all bill like $225. I'm like, and these are same people where I, commenting on my post, I don't have no money to invest, but you got $225 for shots. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
real.
It's priorities, and I
The
like how Kirk
sections and
breaks it down.
bottles.
Yeah. And I like how Kirk breaks it down also. Kirk talks about, he was like, all them shoes y'all niggas buy every month. If
Yeah.
you break down that, he was like, you can get this amount of XLM, this amount of XRP, you know what I'm saying, or put this money somewhere opposed to you spending 250, 275 on shoes. Like, it's like it's all prioritizing, it's sacrificing. Like if you could, I even told people when I first started going live last year, if you could sacrifice one Christmas for your kids, and that one Christmas will change their whole lives. You know what I'm saying? It's just what
Yes,
you
sir.
willing to do, what you willing to put up.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Or
a
you
lot
may
of
not
people
even have to sacrifice a Christmas. You can sacrifice a couple weekends out of the month. That
exactly.
alone is gonna change your how you're looking at money and how you value money and investing. That's the biggest thing. Like people as
Mm,
soon as they spend it before they get it. So like,
exactly.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like the way
And
I
it's
spend it, the way I spend it before I get it, I'm already thinking about investments. What can I invest in before I even
exactly.
make this money? That's the biggest
Ri-
thing.
Rich
It,
Dad Poor Dad said it. He said it the best. He said he said I never think about how I can't get something when it comes to money. He said I always try and figure out how can I go get it.
yeah, you gotta have a wealth strategy or a plan. You know, you gotta have an emergency fund. So you gotta have some cash you sitting on. You can't just be buying drinks and shots every weekend. You don't have a couple grand in case your car break down or something. You gotta have a
Yep.
proper savings. Obviously, we don't save in cash because the dollar don't save value, it loses value. So you save in gold and silver. And your investments, that's where you go into crypto. Because now the thing is, some people get into crypto and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get me some Doge. I'm gonna get me some Shiba, or they're gonna get in the next meme coin or something somebody promoted." And that's and they do no real research, don't really understand the layers of the blockchain, don't really understand the different type of projects that are out there. But you gotta have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Especially now because we're talking about the global reset. We're talking about the wealth transfer. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to get wiped out. It's going to be so much harder for you to build wealth to get ahead after the shift when these assets
Yep.
take on value as the dollar is no longer being traded around the world. If you waited to that time, it's too late.
Too
So you
late.
need to start saving in silver and gold, investing in blockchain and cryptocurrency, and create multiple streams of income to build up your cash reserves.
Share this video as many times as you can because there's so many people out here that need to hear this message,
Yep.
beyond you can imagine, spread the germ as far as you can. We make it so easy for you to understand and we giving y'all
Mm-hmm.
receipts. We just pulled up an article from CNBC
So,
or
yeah,
whatever
that
that
was from
is.
2017. That was from
Exactly.
2017 when they came up with that number. So that's the thing. And the other thing I want y'all to understand is a lot of people don't understand that the 401k thing is just a tax code. We'll actually do a video on that. The 401k. So don't get caught up in, oh, I'm gonna retire when I'm 65 and I'm gonna start living my life when I'm 65. When in reality, if you're a millennial, you're not retiring. Like
Yeah,
that's
who
out of the
wants to
question. You're
retire? Who wants to retire at 65?
and wait to live life until that 65 when you can
Nah.
live now while you're young. Like,
Footwear.
and I'm not gonna wait till I'm 65 to get up and dictate my day. Y'all, like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to get up every day and I gotta, oh, okay, I'm obligated to go do this for 8 hours. Let me go do this. Like, that's not life. We gotta rewire our brains and get out of that. That's not life. You're not supposed to be in a building sitting inside of there for 8 hours a day and you're miserable. You really don't want to be there. And it's even people who make six figures who are miserable every day. You gotta think about it. That's a long time to be miserable. It's 24 hours in a day. And between 8 to 10 of those hours, because you got to get ready and drive to work, you're miserable. It's
Yeah,
24
fact.
hours in a day, and 8 to 10 of those hours you're miserable.
Half the
You
day.
know what I'm
That's half the
saying?
day. That's almost
half
half
the
the day.
day gone at a job and that you ain't gonna be able to retire from if you my age now. The baby boomers are the last to retire, and all of them don't even get to retire because I go to Walmart now and I see people grandmothers greeting me at the door. So some of them got the worst end of this. I think it's like the tail end of the baby boomers. The ones that barely made it. Those ones, they got the worst end of the stick. They really got played because they worked their whole lives and then they got old and they still got to work.
Yeah, and they
And
got
it's
nothing
like,
for it.
that's not the way. That's not the
No,
way.
no.
If you retired at 65 and you trying to have a good life and go vacation, man, your knees gonna be hurting. Like you
Exactly.
don't have
You won't even get to do all the things that you really want to do. Like, you know what I'm
can't
saying?
do
You won't get,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you ain't gonna be able to jump from the top of that waterfall into that clear water in Greece.
I'm doing
Like,
that now.
yeah, you need to do that now, man. Like, just rewiring your brain. That's why I'm
Yeah.
glad Rick brought up multiple streams of income. Like, you're not gonna be able to make it. Even it's people right now that live off 125, 150K that live check to check. So that's very telling. So if you guys really think for 1 second that you're gonna retire, that's nonsense. And then it's already companies that's telling people that's been working for companies for 20 plus years that they don't even have their 401ks no more. It's gone. They lost it.
Damn.
Imagine that. So don't depend on these companies, man. It's not a good situation to be in my opinion. Me personally, I don't get how everybody wakes up every day and this company has their whole entire livelihood in their hand. You walk into work today, or you can wake up. Some people waking up to emails, and you're just getting laid off, and you got a mortgage, car note, kids to feed, and boom, that company just cut you just like that. Like I don't like multiple streams of
This
income
happened to
is
my
just where
boy.
it's at.
Boy is IT. You just do IT for Amazon, cloud services and all that. He and me just yesterday said, yeah, I got laid off. You know, time to get back in the lab. And he was making over 6 figures. You know what I mean? But you know,
Yeah,
your lifestyle is based off of what you're making, and as soon as that stops, your whole lifestyle
you're
is
screwed.
dead. Yeah, it's screwed. So, you know, this is the thing. Like, you know, you have to have multiple streams of income. If you're relying on one stream of income, you're a disaster waiting to happen. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be one check away from being out on the streets. You got to get out here and, you know what I'm saying, realize the massive opportunities that are available to you. You got to get out here and, you know, diversify, create multiple streams, connect with people who are going in the direction that you want to go in, consume information, and then put value out there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to increase your income, increase your passive impact in people's lives. That's how you're going to increase your passive income.
It's
Mm.
You
That's
know what I
great
mean?
advice. I hope y'all take that. And I'm gonna also add to that and say, make sure you find your passion so that way when you find other ways to make money, it don't feel like work. Like find your passion and figure out how you can make money with it, and it will not feel like work. That's one of the best pieces of advice someone told us in college. And I was sitting in college like, damn, well, I don't want to be in here. This ain't my passion. So, but it still hit me because I'm like, damn, I do need to figure out what I'm passionate about and go with that so that it doesn't feel like work. And you'll
More people,
figure it out.
more people you help, the more money you'll make. You know,
Exactly. It's
so
it's good karma too. It's not just bad karma.
Guys,
passive.
again, share the video. Share the
Yeah.
video. Somebody needs to hear this message, whether it be your brother, your aunt, your mom, your dad, whoever, your best friend. You know what I mean? Because if you look, this is my circle. This is the people that I keep in my circle. There's a lot of people that I don't talk to no more just because we're not on the same vibration. You know what I mean? If we're not
Facts.
talking about this,
It ain't
what are we
nothing really
talking
to
about?
talk about. So
Nothing
y'all
to
make
talk about.
sure y'all like, y'all comment, subscribe. Again, this is BlockNation. Shout out to Rick for coming on with us. Rick really an honorary member of BlockNation. But
That's
shout
100.
out to Rick for coming on, and we appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Oh,
Mhm.
And
Rick,
we'll
where
see
could they
y'all.
where could they follow you at, Rick? What's your socials?
Yeah, definitely.
Wait,
Ricardo Hamilton on YouTube. So obviously we're on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube, Ricardo Hamilton on Facebook, and then of course Crypto Rick Official on TikTok and Instagram.
I'll put the links
Y'all better follow my boy. He got
yeah,
all the
exactly.
gems.
I'll
We're
put the
about to put
links in the video. I'll put the
In the
links in the
bio.
video for Ricardo and of course us, you know, wherever you can find us, because you can find us on TikTok, find us on IG, and now here on YouTube. And we will be here on YouTube for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace, y'all.
Right.
All right, like